It's time for the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Each week, Trading Stocks Made Easy demystifies stock trading and investing so you can profit big. And now, here's the host of Trading Stocks Made Easy, the wealthy investor, Tyrone Jackson.
And welcome back to another episode of Trading Stocks Made Easy. Tyrone Jackson, the wealthy investor here today to help you work on your consciousness, developing wealth, financial freedom, all through the stock market today. Now, I want to get right to it because I have two of my favorite students here from the Los Angeles area. Greg Voitanik is back with us. Hello, sir. How are you? And fresh off her Emmy win, Darcy Parsons is back. How are you?
Great. Nice to be here.
Thank you. You've both been on the show today. And, you know, the audience is really loving this round table when I have multiple guests in and we just basically chat about the markets. You guys have not seen the questions in the sealed envelope. Is that right?
I've not seen them.
Right. So you don't exactly know what's coming. I could be talking about anything here.
Yeah,
and it's so funny. We were joking right before we were rolling. We're all from production backgrounds who were like, let's hurry up and record because we're going to lose light. That's right. So anybody who has a production background, that's a little something for you. Darcy, how are you?
I'm doing very well today.
Okay, so before we talk stocks, we got to talk Emmy. You recently won an Emmy.
Yep.
Okay, tell everyone exactly what it is that you do and how you won the Emmy.
I have a post-production company that specializes in visual effects, and a year and a half ago we worked on a very special PSA film called Love Has No Labels, and it went viral within 3 days. Michelle Obama had tweeted it. It was going all around the planet, and it really touched a lot of hearts and lives. And so it was entered by the ad agency, RGA, who we partnered with along with a production company, and it won the Emmy because it touched the Academy as well. Because of the message and also the high-level work that was done in it.
And congratulations, because it was you came to class that you were like, Tyrone, I have to leave early. I was like, well, where are you going? You're like, well, I was nominated for an Emmy. I was like, well, if ever there was a reason to leave class early to go to the Emmys, that was a good one. I keep asking you this, what does it feel like to have that kind of recognition?
It's unbelievable because on Saturday when it happened, it was one thing. It was very exciting, and we were in the moment, and it was so cool to stand on the stage and all of that. But then Sunday and yesterday, Monday, it was just taking it all in and really realizing how big of an honor it was, because they submitted 1,000 commercials and only one was the winner.
Yes.
So it's really amazing, and there's only been 8 commercials over the years. It's only been in for 8 years. So it's really exciting. So.
And you explain it just for a little bit of behind the scenes here. You don't get the statue on the stage when you win.
There were 12 people on the team approximately, and they gave out 2 statues. So now we're working on getting a statue from the Emmy organization.
Right,
as well.
And you have to do it online, right? You have to order yours online.
Yeah, we're going. It's a little different. We're going through our connections at the ad agency and within the production community who know the people at the Emmys to work on getting us a statue.
Right. So I asked you the other day, what if I go online and I order an Emmy in my name? It doesn't work like that. You can't exactly just get them that way.
Well, we could get one that way and put a plaque on it, but we like to get the real one. So.
Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations. I think that's a tremendous thing. What is the name of your company? Tell everyone the name of your company.
My company is Brewster Parsons.
Brewster Parsons. Mm-hmm. And you're so humble. You own this company.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Very great. And I just want to say, just live while we're here on the air, if you come to the Wealthy Investor Program, there's no guarantee you're going to win an Emmy. So let's just put that out there right now. And then Greg is here, who I like to think of as a future Emmy winner.
Hey, thanks.
Is that right?
Me too, yeah.
Okay. Now, you are part of the writing staff on a new show for HBO. What is the name of that show?
It's not HBO.
Oh, I'm sorry. On
but
Netflix.
That's okay.
It's on Netflix.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I can say it. It's a very, very cool show that should be released in 2017, based on a book written by Sophia Amoruso called Girl Boss. The book is called Girl Boss, and the name of the show is Girl Boss. And it was created by Kay Cannon, who wrote Pitch Perfect 2. She was a writer-producer on 30 Rock and New Girl, so she got some credits to her name as well. And those two are friends, and she created this show based on Sophia's life. And her life is pretty fascinating to me to promote someone else's work, but hey, it's really, really cool. And the show is a 30-minute comedy. And it'll be released next year, 13 episodes, and it's going to be just fantastic. It's
really
a
exciting.
Fantastic show.
Now, we talked, and you told me that you were. Is it on the Paramount lot or Warner Brothers?
We were. Yeah, that's right. Last time I was here,
right.
we were here at Universal.
Universal,
right around the corner. And since then, that's where the writers' room started. And since then, production and writers have moved over to Sunset Bronson in Hollywood.
Okay.
So that's where the stages are right now.
Now, one of the things that's really interesting is I think you felt a certain amount of awe that I feel if you're ever on the lot, like, wow, the history of this motion picture studio, right?
Yeah, and do you feel the same way, Darcy,
every time
right?
I walk on the lot.
I know.
Every time.
It's really fantastic. Any lot I walk onto, no matter how big or small, I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, to feel like you're part of this amazing community that I longed to be a part of when I lived in New York. And here I am. Live here and I'm part of it.
Yeah.
And you also get a sense when you, whether it's Paramount, Warner Brothers, you also get a sense of history. Like when you go through those gates or whatever, like this is something that's been around for a while. It's not an internet company. You think of the multitude of stars who've come out and how, motion pictures and television changed the world.
Yeah,
really did.
even at, of course, Universal, which is so chock full of history, but even at Sunset Bronson, we're in the same studios that the Jazz Singer was filmed at in the, 20s or in the 30s.
And Sony has a Wizard. We worked on the stage where the Wizard of Oz was filmed. So you're, right where the Yellow Brick Road was.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, it is. I love it. I love every lot.
Me too.
in town.
And I think for me, one of the things is just, I'm amazed at everything in my life. There's nothing that goes by in my life that I ever take for granted, I'm amazed at how I get to help people and they make money in the stock market. I'm amazed when something great happens. I'm amazed that I even know the both of you. Like, wow, man, life really is good.
It's beautiful.
I think there's a huge payoff for having a gratitude list, and it just makes your blessings multiply. Let's talk about gratitude. How important, you guys are both doing well professionally and obviously as stock market traders. How important is gratitude to you, Greg?
It's something I think about every day, just outside of the stock market, just waking up, in Los Angeles or anywhere, but especially here, I love it. I love walking outside. I love seeing the mountains. I love seeing the sunshine. And I always say to myself, I'm so grateful for this. Be grateful for this. And going into a studio, and just always reminding myself, please, be grateful. Don't take this for granted. And so that's very, very true. And even to bring it back to stocks, the same thing. Like when I see myself and my account just making money so easily, I'm like, don't take this for granted. I'm so grateful to know this and to be able to do this with my life and to help others. Like I think about it every single day.
Yeah. Darcy, you're a big person on gratitude.
It's huge for me.
Tell us about it.
Well, as I learn what gratitude is, I take it deeper in my daily practice. And whenever I have when I wake up in the morning, I always think about what is so beautiful in my life. I have so many beautiful things in my life right now, and that are always being created for me without very little effort on my part. And I focus on what I'm grateful for, and it opens my heart, and it gives me confidence to go into my day with holding that in my heart, knowing that everything is a gift. And for me as a trader, it's amazing that this exists, that I can learn how to make money for my family, my retirement, for my kids' college. And and as I learn about it from you, Tyrone, I'm very grateful for you and what it's done for my life the last 4 years.
Well,
it's changed so much I can't even describe.
Yeah, it's almost hard. I don't know if you guys have the experience. It's hard to go back. Like I can't imagine a month without trading. It would just be strange and weird. Either of you want to comment on that habit of trading and making money?
It's like a given for me. Every Monday, I go in and I make my trades, and some I set up for the month, and some are a weekly trades that I do. And it's just like okay, I'm set up, I'm done for the week, and then I check during the week just to see how the market's doing, just because I'm intrigued with the market and seeing what goes on during the week and watching what the institutions do and how they move the numbers in the market. But I'm safe because I have my trades in, so whatever goes on, I'm good.
You know what bums me out is I only get to do it that one day. Because I want to do it. It's so fun and it's so great. And then like Tuesday comes around and I'm like, that's it?
Right.
I can't do it now? I got to wait?
Yeah. And that's the discipline part, is that you don't get greedy. Let's talk about greed.
Yeah.
All right, let's just be very honest with everyone. Everybody in this program learns how to trade stocks, make money every single month. Tell me the first time you realize, I think I just got too greedy, Greg.
Oh, sure. It was early on. It was, let me try this volatility trade thing.
Okay.
You know, it's basically sort of day trading. I don't know what the heck I was doing. I thought I did. I got a little cocky. And it was a stock that you never uttered before. It was through, someone else in class. He was like, "Hey, look at this one." I'm like, "What a great idea." And, the next morning I went in and I more than probably 75% of the money I had in my account I put towards this.
In that one stock? You put it, you were really aggressive.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Okay. And, it went down the second I clicked buy.
Right.
It goes down right away. I'm like, what'd I do? It's such a bore. Luckily, I think I lost money.
Okay.
I didn't break even. I was trying to wait for it to come back up to break in, and finally I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
Just knock it off.
Pull
This isn't what
Tyrone
did. Yeah, pull the Band-Aid off. Just eat it, and just learn from it. And that's what I did. So I sold it for a loss and just learned.
Did it feel like you were being greedy at the time? I always say when you it feels like you're being aggressive. Well, I'll just try this and I'll be good at it. And it doesn't feel like greed.
Oh, no, it's definitely not greed. It's excitement.
Okay.
It's so smart. I'm like, I got something.
Being overconfident.
Way overconfident. Oh, look at it. I got this great stock. This is going to be great. I know what I'm doing here. I'm not spending all my money. I'm not being a maniac. And then you look back on it and go, that's exactly what?
Right.
Yeah, no, it did not feel like greed at the time.
Right.
I felt very confident and smart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Darcy, greed?
Yeah, it was, I can remember, it was a year and a half ago with Apple Leaps. And I was doing really well with them in the fall because it was the bull market. And then January came and you're like, don't do anything. I'm like, I'm going in. So I bought some Leaps and I sold them at a huge loss a couple of months later.
Right.
But I was just like, I should have listened to Tyrone. But it was a lesson to me to follow the discipline and really stay in safety with what I'm doing because it really helps.
Hang on, I got another one. I just remembered. Now I just said that it was another stock, and bought it. And within a week, it was like fraud within the company.
Oh, yes.
So it went down to like $3.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, you felt that.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah.
I hear a lot of stories, and this usually happens in the first year of people trading, where they get really aggressive. If you come to the live classes, I'm actually just bringing you the stocks that I think are worthy of trading, and you decide if you want to do it. And then sometimes there's always somebody in the class next to you, or you read something online, and you're like, this thing is going to take off. And it seems like greed is just a natural part of human nature. And so you have that experience and it just takes the wind out of you. And then you realize if you had just stayed in the discipline that you've been taught, everything would be fine.
And for me, I went through all the emotions. Like I felt guilty, I felt sad, I was angry, I was afraid. And then I'm like, you know what? You've processed this, just sell it and get back on the road.
I start talking and praying to all the gods out there.
Come on, please let it go.
I'll never do this again. I swear. I swear I'll listen to Tyrone only as soon as this goes back up. I swear. I'll never do it again.
Right. We all go through the 7 stages of death, bargaining, depression. There must be some stages when you realize that thing is never coming back, and I own it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there an addictive nature? I mean, obviously, if you have addictive personality, you have to be careful in the stock market because some people confuse that with gambling, and we don't gamble. Is this addicting at all for either one of you?
I found it was the first 2 years because once I figured out I could make money, I was like, holy cow. And I was in there all the time doing stuff. And then when I had the experience with the leaps that I lost money on and then I got back on the road, I had like a whole nother growth person. I matured as a trader and a lot of my emotion went out of it. And now there's less emotion attached to it where I just feel like grounded and okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, and it's very I get excited when I make money, but it's grounded in like a real discipline and reality. So it's more mature place. So, but yes, I did have an addiction place. It was a lot of euphoria and like a few downs. So I was like, but when I start to feel that. It's like a euphoria coming in. I'm like, oh, that's dangerous.
Right, because you're trading on emotion now.
Trading on emotion and not on discipline. And so I love how I've grown, and I didn't even realize it till just now talking to you that it's like a maturing process in learning this discipline and this part of making money, this investing business. It's really interesting to me.
Greg, anything?
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. As far as it can be addictive. That was the Tuesday feeling I was just talking about. Of Tuesday, I want to get back in there because now I got to wait. But it's the discipline. It's years of practice and not being overconfident and just being disciplined and not trading on emotion.
So here's what I found, and in live classes I go through this a lot. I tell the Oprah Winfrey story. Do you guys remember the Oprah Winfrey story? When she opened the school in South Africa, and the first girls who actually were students at the school, they put them in uniforms and cleaned them up and gave them grooming. And it was time for that very first meal at lunch. And these girls who come from terrible circumstances that we couldn't even imagine hit the cafeteria and it's lunch, and they have an hour for lunch, and in the first 6 minutes they're gobbling down their food. The food is gone. They're putting the salt and pepper shakers in their pockets, and it's because they come from such deprivation. Someone got on the speaker and said, ladies, there's another meal in 4 hours. And these girls couldn't believe the concept because they come from such extreme circumstances. There'll be another meal? We can count on another meal. And I always tell people who start trading to be aware of that because we can't believe we made money this month and they're like, I'm going to make money again guaranteed next month with this trading style. So does that resonate with either of you, especially at the beginning when you were making your choices?
Absolutely. Yeah. I was thinking that, as you're talking about that, Tyrone, it's interesting because it's also it slowed my pace as I matured. And the other thing about it is it just changed my wealth consciousness because I realized there is no famine coming.
Right. There's more money to be made tomorrow.
There's more money to be made.
Yes.
And it helped me with my business too because as my consciousness shifts, I'm a little more open and receptive to more coming in from different places in different ways. And also not having to always work so hard to make money. That was the big thing for me is that I could make money. And the work is in learning the discipline and paying attention and all that. But I'll make some days I'll make enough money as much money as I make in a week in a day.
Yes.
By doing my trade on Monday morning, it's like a week of salary that I just put into my bank account that I had, it took me 5 minutes, maybe.
Isn't that something?
I did a little, I did my homework on Sunday night. I looked at everything. I looked at the history from the class and I know what to do. So there's that, but it's just a little review and then boom, I make some money. And that opens me up to making money at work with more ease.
Yes.
In my consciousness, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, you have both told other people about what it is that you're doing, and you've both hit resistance. Greg, why are some people in your friendship circle so resistant? Like, I don't want to trade stocks, and that's not for me.
Probably because of they focus on the bad stories that they've heard. Even people in my own family lost money, in very risky type of moves.
My family's the worst.
Your family's worst, right?
Some of them, not all of them. I don't want to put it all.
Yeah,
some are extremely like, whoa, I would never do that, and some are very positive about it.
Yeah. So. And some just are misinformed.
Yes.
When the first time I told my mom about covered calls, she's like, oh, okay, she sort of registered it. And then the next day or next time I talked to her, she's like, oh, I told, I was talking to your cousin, whoever it was, someone in the family, and I said cover calls, and he was like, oh, the risky investment. I'm like, no, that's not, no, it's the exact opposite. It's and so it's just like, no, now it's just perpetuating this misinformation throughout the family. I'm like, no, you're all wrong.
Right.
No, he's got the wrong information. So it's just a lack of education.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fear that has been told passed down from generations or whatever. And you see, the headlines. It's the headlines in the news, the tragedies will make
Mm-hmm.
the headlines, not the good stories.
And not everybody wants to change their life financially. Some people just want to follow work a 9-to-5 job,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes it's a little bit more comfortable just to complain, because in order to be successful in the stock market, you have to shift your consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
You have to change your beliefs about what is possible.
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't want to do that. Is that right?
Yeah, well, and I think people develop a mindset from their childhood and over life and how they experience life, and they'll stay within the, if they're comfortable, they don't want to change. They feel like that's safe. They don't want to change. Where you have to actually challenge some of your old belief systems that might not be serving you, and work on shifting things so that you can live in a different paradigm with your relationship with money and wealth and investing. And to me, that was interesting.
And I have friends, even in my inner circle, who say things just always work out for you financially. What they don't realize is, to become the teacher, do you know how much I've had to fail? Mm-hmm. Like how much money I've had to lose to be able to help my students make a lot of money, right? Mm-hmm. But I just happen to be not one of those people who was ever really hung up on loss, because I feel like losing is learning. Now you're learning what not to do.
Yeah.
And I now have this thing that I'm going through personally where it's just more like fail as fast as you can. Like,
exactly.
In any new venture,
You celebrate when you fail because you're learning.
Exactly. And that's just accelerating my ability to get to success. Mm-hmm. So it does really come back to attitude. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's all attitude. Because then things show up in your life and in your brain to support you growing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you see failure differently. I mean, you're both in an industry that's very competitive. And Greg, any thoughts on failure?
Yeah. Within my job, within a writer's room, for example, on any show, especially comedies, I'll talk specifically about that. There are, 6 to 10 writers in there pitching jokes, all day long. And one person can pitch 40 jokes in a day and get turned down 39 times.
Okay.
And it's
by somebody else going, that's not funny.
No one has to say anything.
Oh, okay.
The crickets. Right. The crickets will let you know that joke did not work.
Right.
But you have to you cannot stop, because that's the job, is to just try to think of as much stuff as possible. And everybody in that room is failing 90% of the day. Mm. And I see that, and I'm like, wow. And they just they immediately put that in the back of they completely, as one writer said, she said, birth it and abandon it.
Oh, my God.
Like, wow, that's tough.
Yeah.
But that's very true. She's like, just put it out there and then let it go, and don't even worry about it if it didn't work. Mm-hmm. So that's one way where I witnessed it in my everyday life, of people just learning from it and just being like, it's okay. It's okay. I failed once. I'm going to fail again. I'm going to fail again. I got to just keep going. But as far as the stock market goes, when I fail, quote unquote, fail in the market, there's no more panic. Mm-hmm. There's I'm such at ease with it, because I know what's going to happen. I know it's not a short-term, get rich quick scheme. I know that it's okay to fail, learn from it, and just move on.
We're going to take a commercial, but I want to know, when we come back from the other side of the break, that you guys are so successful. Why do you continue trading, right? You have your careers. Things are going well. Why do you continue trading? And we'll talk about that as soon as we come back with the rest of Trading Stocks Made Easy.
You're listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Want to learn more about how to trade and invest in the stock market? Visit thewealthyinvestor.net/products. That's thewealthyinvestor.net/products, and order the Wealthy Investor's Guide to Stock Market Success audio series. This easy-to-follow 5-CD audio series and manual will teach you the basics of how to buy and sell stocks, how to collect quarterly dividends for life, plus hidden income generating strategies like covered call writing and volatility trading. Start creating financial freedom right now. Get the financial education you need to get ahead. Visit thewealthyinvestor.net/products.
Wealthy Investor, Wealthy Investor, wealthyinvestorradio.com.
And we're back, as Oprah used to say. All right, we were talking about before the break with my two wonderful guests, Greg and Darcy, this notion of you guys are successful, you're living your creative dreams, you know, you're working hard, you're seeing the rewards. Why would you continue this thing of trading on your own in your own accounts?
For me, I love money.
Okay.
I like watching it grow. It's very simple. I've always been fascinated by it. And now that I have 100% control over watching that grow, and I have 100% control whether it goes down or up. It's all on me.
Okay.
I love having that. And I love seeing where it could possibly go to in the future, where it's going to lead.
Mm-hmm.
And having that freedom, that financial freedom is just so, that's one piece of weight off my shoulders that I don't have to worry about in life.
Right.
And that's so, oh man, that's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why.
And you're also in businesses, let's just be honest, where you never know. You don't know how long your show is going to go.
Right.
You don't know the trends in the advertising industry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that this gives you a sense of security of like at least there's something coming in?
Absolutely, because there are no guarantees. You work hard and doors open and things happen. At the same time, I want to have something else growing. I don't want to, as they say, all my eggs in one basket. And my company's doing very well. And my trading is going well, so I like having both. And also, when I'm done in visual effects and I'm moving into other things that are close to my heart, I know that trading is going to be a big part of my income and allowing me to make those and do other things.
Right,
So
right.
it's providing security and stability, and it's fun. To me, it's really, I enjoy it.
Well, people often ask me, if you're making so much money in the stock market, why are you teaching other people? And it's just first of all, I realize, because not everything we do in our life is money motivated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was the person who shared and helped other people even when I wasn't quote unquote rich, right? If somebody needed something, I'd be like, oh, I know how to do that, or have your friend call me, so that's just my nature.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have found is as you move up socioeconomically, your true nature comes out. Like I always say when I'm on a speaking tour or something, if I help you make a lot of money, you're just going to become more of who you are. So if you're an angry person, you're just going to be an angry person with a lot of money, right? But if you're a kind and generous person, you're going to be a kind and generous person with a lot of money. Money is just a modality that allows us to play out who it is that we really are. If I were to ask you about your financial vision, like in 2 to 5 years, is there something that you would like to do? Because I find that my students do the best who have goals. If I say to them, hey, pay for your vacation this summer, it's January. I want you to pay for a 5-star vacation in your trading account. People go, oh, okay, Tyrone. Then that's what I will focus on. Where do you see yourself with this, let's say, Darcy, 2 to 5 years down the road?
Well, right now, the trading and what I've been learning from you is helping me buy a building for my company. Mm-hmm. So that's a very short-term goal. More long-term goal, I want to pay off my house. I want to, fix up my house. I also want to buy a house in New York, so I'm closer to my family part of the year. Mm-hmm. And I want to give to some charities that are close to my heart, and take care of my kids, send them to college.
Right. Well,
if coming up,
if you have kids going to college, you better trade.
I'm telling you,
because I have 2 kids, and boy, when I see what it costs, it's like thank God for the market, because you're going to school based on Netflix stock and Facebook. I can tell you that right there.
That's right.
Greg, where do you see yourself?
A couple of different areas. One, my overall goal in 5 years is to double my account where it currently is, today, between, in 2 to 5 years. A house would be nice, but that's not the ultimate end-all, be-all goal for us. But the other one, more importantly, is my nephew. I took over his mutual fund when he was 13 and transferred it, rolled it over to a cash account, and it has more than doubled, and he's in college right now.
Wow.
And I remember, and I didn't, I purposely didn't tell him how much was in there, and I didn't tell my brother, it's his dad, how much was in there. And I think a year ago, my brother texted me, he's like, hey, I'm sitting here with with Zach. He's like, how many shares of Coke does he have?
Right.
And I was like, oh, he's got 100. He's like, wait, what? Are you know, and he was floored that he already owns 100. And I didn't tell him that he also owns 50 shares of something else.
Right.
I just told him about that part. And so they were both just probably partied that night, you know, just I can't believe that he has that much already. And he's a freshman in college. So I'm excited for him to, you know, cut to 3 or 4 years when he graduates college to be like, oh, by the way, here's how much you have.
You know, I'm thinking about doing a teen day where we just bring teenagers in, because teenagers are great traders because they have no junk in their head about anything. They're just blank slates. Would that be a good idea?
My son is dying to come to class.
Yeah, and you have 2 kids, 2 twins.
Yeah.
You have twins.
They both would come.
Okay. We're going to do that one day just to give them exposure to, it might get a little rowdy in there. I might need security or something, but we'll work that out.
You know what? The first time I showed my nephew some of the stocks, he was the smartest trader I ever, because he was a blank slate. He just looked at the graphs. He's like, oh, and he narrowed it down to, you know, McDonald's, Coke, Target, like stuff that he knows and he goes to. And he's like, oh, well, this chart looks good. I'm like, that's all you need to know. Good job.
You start right there, buddy. We're going to do the favorite. Whenever we do these roundtables, my favorite part is where I just throw out stocks and symbols and you give your opinion.
Okay.
And if you don't know the stocks, you know, we'll just move on to the next one.
Is it like a lightning round?
This is like a lightning round.
All right.
And just be real honest.
Okay.
Would you own it? Would you trade it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you ready?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay. McDonald's, ticker symbol MCD.
I would possibly invest in it, but right now I'm not interested in it.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't like fast food.
Oh, you don't like, are you a vegetarian?
No.
Oh,
But I
okay.
just, you know, but I also, part of me thinks like if I invested in them, you know, I know they're going to have to turn to healthier foods for people because it's being requested now.
Yeah, well, they try, but most people want the junk. That's what they found when they go there. It's like, yeah, who goes to McDonald's for a salad, you know?
Yeah.
So that's not for you, right?
Yeah, not for me.
Greg?
Used to be.
Really?
I was in McDonald's, yeah. And then
So the shares.
the shares, yes.
Ownership,
yes,
right.
yes. Yeah, almost for a similar reason. Of now I'm okay. I know there are other companies out there that I can get a similar return or just do some of the same trading or same holds on it with a company that's not. Yeah, that's real food.
In order
not,
for
not you know
not
processed
the stuff that they're putting in there.
Right,
Okay.
right.
We love McDonald's on this show. We just, if they ever decide to sponsor us, I don't want them mad at me. Okay.
But at the same time, I don't blame or hold it against anybody who would. I know it's a good company because I have traded in the past, and you take the emotions out of it, and I see that's a dividend. It's a growing company. I get it.
Okay.
I totally get it.
Do you have to have personal convictions about the company that you're trading or owning?
Definitely not. But I mean, for me, there are so many good choices out there that I actually like looking at a portfolio of stocks that my heart connects with because it's just personal for me that way.
Okay.
So it's emotional, but not really. It's just I just like the companies that I'm in right now, and if it's I would buy McDonald's if there were no other great choices. But for me, it is an issue.
Coca-Cola, KO.
I am in it.
You like it?
I do.
Why?
It's a good dividend. I get their story. I get that if they raise the price 1
And explain
cent.
to our audience what that means, the story.
Oh, the story, the business model, what they do.
Okay, perfect.
It's nothing too complicated for me. I know they don't just own Coke. It's a whole slew of other brands, some quote unquote healthy drinks, and waters and that kind of stuff. But they also have the, as you have explained, co-relationships with other huge companies like McDonald's all over the globe. It's sold in like every country on earth, just about. And if they raise, their price by a penny, the stock goes up millions of dollars.
It sure does.
And that's the one that's actually my nephew. I have 100 shares of his that I bought years ago, and I like to play the mimic the dividend game.
Yes, please.
With Coca-Cola. Just get like 17 cents a month on a covered call. Nothing crazy.
It's great. Yeah,
so
it's great.
I
Darcy, Coca-Cola?
I'm not in it. I was in it for a little bit, but then I just don't like where it's trending as a company because I think people are going to drink healthier and healthier drinks, and their mainstay is Coca-Cola and Diet Coke, and I don't think it's great for people, and they're not drinking it as much is what I see. So I'm not in it right now.
LU.
Ooh.
Is that a good one?
That was a roller coaster.
That is crazy. You better put your big girl panties on if you're going to be in that stock.
I used to be in Lulu, but this was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't been in it since.
Okay, Darcy?
No, I haven't touched it. It's
Okay.
too volatile and no dividend, so I wouldn't touch it.
Okay, plus you're a vegetarian, so you're not going to buy Lulu.
Exactly. They don't taste good.
Twitter.
Oh, God, no.
Okay, why?
Stay far away from that. How do they make money?
I don't know how they make money. They don't know how
But
they
they
make
don't know how
money.
to make money. That's crazy. No way.
GoPro, Darcy.
No.
Why?
They only have one product.
That's right. We never
Yeah.
trade a stock that just has one product. You're not going to build a product line off of that. Costco. Anybody like Costco?
I love Costco.
The shares.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just bought 10 shares on yesterday, actually.
Smart move. God, they run a great business over there.
Yeah, I love Costco.
I'm not in it.
Amazon.com, Greg?
I'm not in it, but I should be.
Okay. I think you should be too.
Yeah.
I think we have a split coming
Yeah.
in the not too distant future.
You reminded me, I have to buy one share today.
Yeah.
I think just
I think
one.
I'm going to this
Because if they do 10 for
I
one,
forgot yesterday.
if they do 10 for one, we're all going to benefit.
But even not. I mean, who doesn't?
Shop. I know
Everybody's
it is, and that's the problem in the market right now. With the companies that we're trading, they're all losing so much foot traffic because the generation coming behind us is just shopping online, and they only know Amazon.com.
Yeah,
Right.
so easy for them.
Okay, Visa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is that a yes on
I
all three
love
of us?
Visa.
Okay, I love
Yeah,
it too.
Visa's awesome.
Which means American Express, AXP.
Used to be. When it was in, I haven't been in it in over 2 years probably because I bought in the 90s and went down to the 70s and
Yes.
I got out and I haven't been in it since.
I know a lot of people
Yeah.
left after the huge drop because of the deal with Costco. When Costco dropped them, the fear was that the revenue would decline. It didn't, but the market didn't like it.
Right.
Final one. Everybody who listens to the show knows how I feel about Disney, but it has not moved.
I'm in Disney. I
Okay.
love Disney. For the long term, I love it.
Okay, what is it you like about it?
I think they have like a wide variety of products that in offerings. They're growing. I mean, Shanghai and all the Marvel products and Star Wars, everything that's happening, and also they have a great dividend. So I think they're very smart how they do their business, and I think they're just having a little bit of lull right now.
Yes.
So it's a good time to buy more shares
On sale.
on sale.
Greg?
Agree.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Hey, that's really terrific. Did you ever think you'd be sitting in a studio? I'd throw out 7 stock symbols and you instantly have
An opinion.
I know,
someone,
that's so funny.
Someone wrote it. They were like, how do they all know the symbols? It's like, you better start and open an account. Because all of a sudden, when your money is committed, everything else it's very real. It becomes a natural part of your life. Hey, listen, you guys were so super for coming in today. And really, I know you were on time conflicts, but you still gave, and that's really terrific. 3 pieces of advice you would give someone who listens to this show, thinks they're going to pick up free stock tips, but who should really be studying in the market. Greg, 3 pieces of advice to that person?
Make sure you're educated. The terminology and all that kind of stuff. Just open up an account. Step 1, step 2, I guess. Open up an account. It's as easy as opening a checking account, and you don't even have to fund it. Just open it and start it and get in that mindset. And number 3, don't get too cocky.
Right.
There you go.
We've all been there.
been there.
All right. Got to tame the beast. Darcy?
My advice would be get an education. I think that's because I did investing before, what I thought was investing, but I really had no understanding of how the markets operated or any of that stuff. I would read, and I think I knew things, but I really didn't understand how it all worked. So I think education is really important. I think starting small and allowing yourself the time and being patient to really learn before you go in and do a trade. I think that's those are the patience, getting an education.
Yes.
Yeah.
Patience, not greed.
Yeah.
A lot of people open an account just to get rich quick. And the real money is made over the long term, not just a quick hit. Right? That's called gambling. Would we agree, boys and girls?
Yes,
That's right.
absolutely.
Hey, listen, thank you so much. Darcy, tell us the name of your business. Is there anything you want to plug?
Brewster Parsons. We're in Venice, California, and we have an office in New York.
Okay. And Greg, anything you want to plug?
Next year, look for the release of Girl Boss.
Okay. On Netflix.
Great show.
Netflix. Okay. And we will think of you. And the rest of you know where to find me at thewealthyinvestor.net. www.thewealthyinvestor.net on the interweb. That's how we do that. Hey, this is Tyrone Jackson saying thank you so much for joining, and I want to thank our special guests today, Darcy and Greg. And hopefully at some point, when you both have 3 Emmys, you'll come back and see us again. You won't even take my phone calls then.
Tyrone who?
Yeah, it'll be like an owl flew in the room. Tyrone who, but I'll keep my fingers crossed. All right, Tyrone Jackson, the Wealthy Investor saying we'll see you next time right here on Trading Stocks Made Easy.
You've been listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes. While you're on iTunes, be sure to click the subscribe button and you'll automatically receive our next episode.